Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome back to another live stream here at twitch.tv/vfriends or on YouTube at Wannabe Creations. I'm doing a little stretch. This is going to be a slightly more casual stream. Some big announcements in VFriends over the last couple days since our last podcast, namely the Uno collaboration with Mattel Creations and today's Carrots by Anwar Carrots collab merch drop. Some good, some bad, a lot of flipping, and some also things to look forward to with Monday seeming or confirmed by Gary at least to be a VCon speakers announcement. So I'm going to record a podcast with all of the above or all of the previous or whatever, everything I've just said. But I haven't prepared my notes yet. So it's going to be a little bit of a watch me work as I put things together. Let me just figure out where we're at. Actually, before I forget, let me do this. Request more codes. And the edit code. Great. Done. Love checking things off the list. Let me just figure out which window. I've got so many windows open. Yeah, this is probably a good one to share. Let me just scroll down, get out of the private stuffs. Hey, Chaotic Mango. What's good, everybody? So right now I'm going to prep for a podcast, not like quite ready to go, but wanting to clock a lot more hours on Twitch in general. I think the podcasts are good. And, you know, I still haven't cracked the code on making micro content of all the live streams and such, but based on feedback from folks, not only do we like the casual streaming, but typically people's questions get answered more readily, and that seemed to providing a lot of value. So I'm going to hang out. Do you guys prefer to, do you prefer this view? Like, can you actually see? Maybe this is the best one. This is new, actually. StreamYard didn't have that a while ago. I think that's probably the best, so you can kind of still read what's going on. Let's close that out. And so I'm going to be doing a variety of things, mainly going over the Anwar Carrots collab, the VFriends Roundup, and the Uno drop from yesterday. Taking notes and recording the podcast. So let's do it here. Daily download. I know you can't see my notes, but I can only share one window at a time. So for short, Uno, Anwar, Roundup, Monday announcement. And those are the big bites. I want to share this link with Petey. If you didn't know, if you are a self-aware hair holder, it's not exactly clear. I assume that they held back a certain amount of supply for the hairs. So you'll see here, need not purchase the collaboration drop. And it says you'll be eligible for a unique promo code to redeem a capsule on the website. So I can only imagine that they saved for that because they're sold out now. And that would be a big misstep if they said this and didn't have any stock for it. So imagine they have a certain amount on reserve, but you only have until Monday night. So like a little more than 48 hours. I think that's a pretty small window, and I want to make sure people are aware. Also, this is interesting. We also snapshotted your wallet address. Be on the lookout for that in late January. So I wonder if hair holders are going to get an airdrop, which is pretty fun. If that's the case, maybe I don't think Anwar has any NFT collection, so maybe they did like a Genesis with him or something. Should be fun to see. But for now, I want to catch up with Gary V. Yeah, so this is big news. He shared on Twitter that Monday is going to be a big day, and that specifically the first batch of VCon speakers will be announced, and a ton of info about Book Games. So I actually know a little bit about what's being shared Monday, so I have to respect that privacy. But people are going to want to. It's not going to be. Sorry, I'm hesitating. I can't share everything because I'm a moderator. We had a meeting preparing for this announcement, and they were actually going to do this announcement today, but now it's happening Monday. So yeah, I think it's okay for me to say that like the Book Games announcement on Monday is critical and important, but it's not immediate time sensitive. Like you're going to miss out if you're not there at the time, like it was for Uno or the Carrots thing. But it is really important, and I'll obviously bring you the details once they're public. So there's that. What's that? I see a comment. You tweeted Gary about Just Art December. He responded 2020. Oh, that's interesting. So that confirms a lot, actually. So let me get something. It's in a DM. So let me call it up. Who was it? I think it was Petey. Oh, it wasn't Petey. Who sent it to me? It was, who was it? Shoot. So many DMs, I can't keep up. Scanning my list. Was it Trevor? No. Was it? Give me just a second. I remember what it was, but they actually got a screenshot of it. It's a deleted comment by Gary. It was Drofig. Yeah, Drofig. Nice. So let me just save this. Book Games deleted. So I think I can just share this directly. No, only video files, slides. Let me see. Upload a file. No, it won't let me do a JPEG. Shoot. Can I DM myself? Sorry, this is kind of silly. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll post it here. I can even post it in the Alpha channel. So this is what it is. Book Games is based on Just Art, is a comment that Gary left a couple days ago, but promptly deleted. So I think this goes, that would, are you also Trevor? You must also be Trevor. I think that goes hand in hand, because when he said Just Art was going to be a December thing, my mind went to Art Basel and that they might be doing something there. But with this comment, Book Games is based on Just Art, and knowing that Book Games is landing January 10th at the latest, then I think this is the missing puzzle piece. Who knows what that means? Somebody suggested to me that it could mean that the game itself is actually like fractionalized, like puzzle pieces of existing Just Art pieces. And you have to like build a Just Art piece in order to burn or exchange or play the game. But that we don't know yet. But this is super interesting. And with the context of that, let me actually head over to Twitter. Let's see what he said. The number one thing. Was it in a comment? I don't see it. I love that you're trying to get on Bull Market Girlfriends. That's such a cool project. I love the way they have their sort of like fixed price. Was it here? I don't see it. Maybe if I go to replies. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm just going to take your word for it. It's not a big deal. Nonetheless, super cool idea. If you wouldn't mind sending me the link to it, that'd be great. Okay, so Uno is done. Let me get my notes up. Uno sold out in less than 1 hour. 17 collectible inserts, 4 tiers of rarity. Let me call that up as well. Oh, that's not really what I wanted to do. What's going on? Oh. What? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, my computer's freezing. Shoot. Okay, it's not frozen here. Yes, Alvin, I did actually get Adidas. I actually didn't have any Ethereum for it, but I was whitelisted. I was authorized to mint because I have a Planetary DAO token, and I guess I also have G-Funk's POAPs, which were on the allow list. But I minted on behalf of somebody else, and I did get my 2. Let me see if I have the tweet. This one, right? First week of January now. Nice. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Let's put it in here as well. Cool. Back to the building. There's a lot of collabs. Oh yeah, he also said 30 days. I love the Flip Hustle. Sad I missed out. These were crazy. Already selling like hotcakes. I wonder, the Uno packs are probably selling even more, I would imagine. Oh yeah, Book Games has a hard deadline now. Round? Oh, Roundup. Roundup. Book games on the 10th. There was like back when this always pops into my mind at random times. January 15th, 2021 is another one of these dates that Gary just like threw out there. And first, I thought it could be VFriends 2. It can't be book games since he was thinking December, but maybe it was VFriends 2 and now that's been pushed because book games have been pushed. Or I wonder if it's just something totally different that he hasn't been talking about. I guess that's news. More collabs coming. What's the blog post? Did anyone get physical Nordstrom's and is it on eBay yet? It's in, lots of brewing. We already have that here. Sold out. Blog. Uno. I mean, it is pretty crazy. Sold out before Nordstrom online sold out before announcement. Carrots sold 3 minutes in. What else I want to know is carrots actually let's just search Anwar Carrots. Who is this guy? Who is Anwar Carrots? Hailing from Trenton, New Jersey, working since 2007, founded Peas and Carrots International, an emerging streetwear brand and creative collective. Always evolving, Anwar started an eponymous, I don't know what that means. Of a person giving their name to something. Oh, okay, named after. Okay, got it. He started like a namesake brand, basically. Carrots by Anwar, launching at the Scion. Okay, how old is Anwar Carrots? It was on that day, watching the creative behind it, that the 22-year-old garnered an interest in clothing. That was in 2013. So he's like 30. Here we go. Meet the designer bridging streetwear and vodka. Discusses his latest campaign with Grey Goose, the effects of COVID on streetwear, and exactly what his drink of choice is. New Jersey witnesses father's creating his own shirt design, developing, ultimately leading to the creation of his own brand, Peas and Carrots. He's now one of the leading creatives in streetwear today, heading his namesake label, Anwar Carrots. Grey Goose drinks a lot of water, lightweight, design. What does he say about design? The thought process was on some holiday sweater shit. Keeping it on my end with the branding simplistic and taking the whole connotation of perception of the word ugly out of the ugly Christmas sweater for the holiday and just making a nice sweater to pair with the kit. We wanted to factor keeping my color branding and their color branding and make it one, yet not too overly brandy to where it just looks like another promotional sweatshirt, but also keeping it Carrots. Their back end is crazy. It's damn near all fashion people running their brand and all that shit, so they know what they're doing over there. Cool. I feel like all of your campaigns are cohesive. They all make sense. So how I do all my collections, everything matches each other throughout the whole year. So if you bought something in January and you buy something in December, it can still be paired with anything you bought. Interesting. Wow, that sounds like a seamless process. It's coordination. To me, it's also considerate in a sense, especially for those who may not have the bread to be buying all collections, all seasons. You can buy a tee from this season with some shorts from last season so you can be in line with everyone who may have out-dripped you. Is it crazy thinking back to a time when blogging in street style wasn't mainstream? You know what's funny? I've been doing it since '06. My blog is still up. I've been doing Tumblr since '09. Even if you Google my Tumblr, I won Best Tumblr in 2012. Some stupid shit like that. I was a part of the viral world before viral was viral. What does street style mean? Street style to me is how you want the world to perceive you when you step out the door. If street style is bumwear, if street style in bumwear to you with holes is your clothes, fuck it. That's your expression. It's art. Obviously, songs have lyrics to them, but art doesn't. But if art had lyrics to them, you would follow those lyrics. It's interpretation. Interpretation is a part of perception. I like this guy. Low key turned up. I'm more turned than ever before. I've had time, really dissect shit, figure out where I want to sit in this shit, look at how I want to move. And honestly, I've been moving how I've been moving since I started, and I don't want to change. If anything, I want to speed it up. All right, cool. I think that's cool. I want to share this. I think I want to share this bit. And yeah, I want to share that bit. Okay, cool. Moving on. Check the chat. Thanks for the tag. Eccoci qua. What's this? Token Trove. This is interesting. He says he's not legally allowed to disclose how many copies exist. That's funny. Gary doesn't own a single one. Not legally allowed to disclose. I mean, that's a really big question. So, oh, right. I was trying to get this image. Is this working yet? No. Why? I don't want to screenshot this. It's going to look bad. Open with preview. Okay. Let's quit this. My computer is like, relax. 76 trombones led the big parade with 110 cornets lays behind. VCon speakers. Did Gary leave his own server? It's a little odd. Book exchange, welcoming folks, bringing people in from Twitter. Nice. Can't legally share the odds of getting a Gary B card. So this is really interesting. So there's one spec insert per pack. And if I could get my messages app to open, there we go. There's, I just want to save this image. Can I just save it? No. Okay, I'll airdrop it to myself. is silly. I just airdropped an image from my computer to my phone so I could airdrop it back to my phone because I couldn't download it. So nice. So let's do, I'll just post it here. Okay, well, let me, oh my God. I just want to show you guys this image. Why is this so hard? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Bear with me, people. 6 folks in the house. Happy to see everybody. Sending my love. Okay, I'm gonna open it up here, and this is gonna like really screw up the quality, but it's okay. I have a feeling this is gonna be hard to view, but we'll give it a shot. There we go. So this is what I want to show you regarding, which is so bad. It's so bad. I don't know if this was on the website. Let me do some investigating. Oh, I see. So it's here. So, yeah, it doesn't get any better. So this is really interesting. There's 17 collectible cards, but they're in 4 different tiers of rarity. So you have the highest potential of getting the cheetah and 4 other cards, then the robin and 5 other cards, then the squirrel and 4 other cards. But the Gary B, which Gary was saying, oh, that's better. The Gary B, I wonder if I screenshot this, which Gary was saying is the highest rarity, is the most rare, is in a tier of its own, which is interesting for sure. There was also, wasn't there a blog post? Was there a, or was it just here? Anything that are you guys looking at these roundups? I know that I kind of do my own roundup, or I do my own roundup, but I wonder if you guys are reading this because there is a lot of good information here, and it's coming from VeeFriends, so not only is it trusted, but sometimes they confirm things that I speculate on. Wow, week 50 of 52, year's almost over. There was an AMA. Gary confirmed book games. He also confirmed there will be a few new characters, but didn't say how many. But he did say in the Twitter Spaces for Uno that there will be 7 new characters in Series 2. So are we going to get a preview of those characters in book games? Perhaps. Talked about patience for long-term holding. Confirmed $950 for V2. Also, this was a great comment that there's no club. If you don't need $1 to be here and benefit from what's going on. Series 3 isn't in the works at all. Football stadium's big. Gary competitive and cheering for everybody else. And version 1 will always be taken care of most by me forever. Everyone should aspire to version 1 if they can afford it. Let's watch this.
Hey everybody, it's Gary Vaynerchuk, the creator of VeeFriends. I am humbled to be and this incredible Uno and VeeFriends collaboration. First and foremost, big shout out to everybody at Mattel and the VeeFriends community for supporting this project. I'm very excited about this. There are 17 VeeFriends characters featured. There is one featured. There is VeeFriends character.
Nope.
VeeFriends.
So there they are. Okay. This is the work. Let's get into it. We've got I don't know what order to do these in, but okay. We'll just go left to right. Gold, turnt, tick, gold, or maybe I should do them 0 to 1. Yeah, let's do that. So gold, sweet swan. Then what's one? Gold, charming cheetah. Then hollow porcupine and bubblegum moose. Hollow positive porcupine, bubblegum modest moose. Then hollow Gary B. No. Diamond pheasant, hollow Gary B. Diamond faithful pheasant, hollow Gary B. I guess these aren't necessarily the hollow. I feel like they are the hollow cards. I guess we'll see. If not, it's at least the characters. Where's 6? I don't see 6. There it is. What's the peacock? Practical peacock. Practical peacock. Productive puffin. Hollow practical peacock. Lava productive puffin. Diamond prudent polar bear. Amazing that I know all these names. Where's 9? Bubblegum YOLO yak. And then we're into the rest, right? So we've got turnt tick, old turnt tick, bubblegum sharing squirrel, squirrel, +2 emu, wild wallaby. What is that? Hollow? Yep. Hollow wild wallaby. Oh, is it already 5:43? How did that happen so fast? Lava dinosaur and reverse robin, lava dinosaur, lava robin, gold giraffe. Lava dynamic dinosaur, lava resourceful robin, gold genuine giraffe.
Characters featured. There is one random insert of a spectacular in each deck, and I'm looking forward to seeing many of those in PSA and Beckett holders in card shows in 2022. And by the way, when you're looking for your spectacular, look out for Gary B, the rarest of the bunch. I wish you a tremendous holiday and happy 2022.
Cool. Nice. Hangout Hawks. I haven't actually got to watch the Hangout Hawk call, so I'll probably... Robert Mondavi, sales. Okay, not really a lot of new info here. Oh, interesting. This was already here. Oh, wow. I'm almost certain, I'm pretty certain actually, that this blog went out before the Anwar details and it was already there. So self-aware hairs are getting some kind of gift. Self-aware hair get a carrots capsule special gift in January. Snapshot in December. Snapshot already happened. Okay. Great. What else? Gary Vee text platform. We already looked at this. Book games early this week. It's stacked and not even half the lineup. Not even half of the insane lineup. Meh. Books. Book games. What's this? If you knew what their internal data said. Oh, great. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Gary said this, but somebody suggested, maybe he said it in the Twitter space and I missed it. Somebody suggested that Gary, that Mattel didn't believe Gary that they would sell out fast, and they thought it would take weeks for the Uno to sell out. And, we all know they sold out in an hour. What's this? Nice. Flip Life, Uno going wild. Yahoo Finance. So this is cool. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, it does seem like they're static. So this is all of them. But I wonder what order they're going in. I wonder if they're, oh man, can I count this? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be right. I'm not sure. Who will get the Gary B Uno cards? I think I have all the info. What's the utility? Fun. Excited. Mattel.
I am freaking out excited about Noon. Can't wait. Get ready. This is finally global. Europe, India, Russia, Singapore, Australia. You're not left out. Finally, everybody's going to be able to get in on this. I think there's an arbitrage. I'm really excited about it.
He's so earnest. Announcements. I know this is boring, but this is just how I put the pieces together. Oh yeah, and then there was this person. I mean, this is kind of news, I guess. Did they sell all their VFriends? Wow, it looks like they sold them all. Oh, these ones were transferred. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on here. They sold a bunch. They sold, and like for cheap-ish. They sold a Hangout Hawk. They sold a spec for 12 for 17.5, and they sold another Heart Trooper at the floor. These two, and the Alert 8 for 35. I mean, they were offloading. And now what's here? I hope they weren't scammed, but it doesn't really look like a scam since they listed them. Whoa. wallet has a lot of apes. I wonder if any of these are confirmed scams. Wow, they have a lot of apes. Wow, they have a lot of apes. I wonder, I don't know. This is a little suspicious, but maybe not. Maybe they just are really loaded. Doodles. How are Doodles doing, by the way? I think they're up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Doodles are super fun. This is a good one. Okay. Anyway, back to business. Limited supply. We don't know how much. Okay, I think I have what I need. This is fun. I'm going to add this to the download, actually. Oh, and let me do this as well. We're doing this POAP. I pre-authorized people. So some like 900 people gave me their wallet address to get this POAP. Obviously, let me refresh this maybe. Nice. That's great. So like the benefits of doing a delivery is like everybody who wanted the POAP can get it. The downside is that the chances. Oh, hold on. Let me text my brother really quick. The chances of everybody coming back, it just requires that they come back to this link and claim the POAP. So maybe, it'll be sad when some of them are left unclaimed, but this is open until December 31st for people to claim. If you didn't get it, I'm hoping to get some more codes. I requested more codes. We'll see if they come through from POAP that I can give out manually. Great. I'm pretty sure we have a full show here. So let me go over to VDAO. Is there something ongoing? VFriends update 12:18. I don't need to ping everybody. Yaddy da 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 da. Anybody here? Heavy duty? Well, now I know why people show up so fast when I start them, because I ping everybody. I guess I could do that. Why not? "76 trombones led the big parade. Yaddy-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yaddy-da-da-da-da." All right. Hey, folks. Thanks for joining me. As you know, my name is Jeremy, and there was quite a bit of action in the VeeFriends space, so I'm just about to record my daily download podcast. If you're unaware, I have a podcast called Jeremy Knows, where I talk exclusively about VeeFriends, and that's the way I like it. Maybe someday I'll branch out into other things, but right now the podcast serves the purpose of keeping you all and myself to a degree up to date on what's going on. So today is a daily download. I'll give you a preview so you can determine if you want to listen live, or otherwise this will be on the Jeremy Knows podcast in an hour. Oh, it's 5:55 p.m. That's a fun little synchronicity. So today I'm just going to break down the Uno drop, talk about the next 30 days, which Gary says is full of announcements. Like we're getting VCon speakers on Monday, at least a partial list. I'm going to talk about the merch drop that happened today and some of the things from the roundup, as well as a couple of hints and a reminder that the 5555 POAP is available. I'm putting a link to the podcast and the POAP in the Friends Lounge right now. Actually, I'll put it in the voice chat as well. If your wallet is not authorized on the address lookup for that POAP, just hang tight. I'm requesting more codes. You can DM me so that I remember to give it back to you. Otherwise, I'll be sharing when I get more codes. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome back. My name is Jeremy. It is Saturday, December 18th, and we have a daily download here at the Jeremy Knows podcast. I feel like every time I start this show, I either don't fall into a radio trope or I do, and I laugh at myself either way. I appreciate your patience and your attention here as I work through my own, what shall we call them, speed bumps in learning podcasting. I'm going to give you the preview so you know what's going on in this episode. I'm going to break down the Uno drop, the Anwar Carrots drop, what we might expect on Monday with an announcement that Gary has teased, and a special little hint about book games that you would have missed unless you were following Gary on Twitter. So stick around. I'm Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7, and that's supposed to be the outro, not the intro. Welcome back to the show. Let's go. Okay. Sometimes I would say, take 2, but I'm just going to leave it. Let it be. By the way, if anybody has questions that they want me to answer, please put them in the voice channels text. Same goes for you, Twitch. If you have questions, just drop them in the chat. If you didn't know, I record this podcast on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/VeeFriends. If you want to see some of the visual aid, you can watch there. Okay, let's kick it off with a substantial collaboration that was released yesterday with Mattel Creations on a VeeFriends branded Uno deck. And there's a lot of reasons to be excited about this. Mainly, I think we can just have a moment of congratulations and gratitude for Gary. If you saw the announcement that he posted in the Discord, he was giddy like a child. He really delivered on his 8-year-old self being happy with this collaboration. So there's a couple things to note here. Number one, demand for VeeFriends products at a $25 price point is unreal. A lot of people want to know how many packs were available, but that is an unknown quantity. And when asked what were the chances of pulling the rarest spectacular insert, which is Gary B, Gary said he was legally unable to disclose the chance. So what I'm referring to is every single one of these Uno decks, which comes with 113 Uno cards, has one spectacular inside. And there are 17 collectible spectaculars that you can get. But the rarity of each of them varies. So there are 4 tiers of rarity. We don't know exactly which characters are included in each, but we do have a preview from the back of the box. So the Gary B is the most rare. It's the hollow Gary B. in tier 1, and it is the only card in tier 1. There are 5 in tier 2, 6 in tier 3, and 5 different spectacular cards in tier 4. So opening your Uno packs, you're most likely to get the Charming Cheetah or any of the other 4 characters in that tier. You're least likely to get the Gary B. And VFriends/Gary has coordinated with PSA so that you can actually send these collectible inserts to PSA to get graded. In the Discord, Gary revealed that he didn't actually buy any for himself and didn't ask Mattel to hold any back. So the only way for Gary to get them is actually to buy them from us on the secondary market, and shared in his video that he's looking forward to seeing them slabbed and picking them up on eBay. That's a good transition into how wild the secondary market is on these collectibles. So within an hour of the release yesterday, the entire supply was sold out. Again, we don't know what quantity that is, but it went very fast. And the secondary market has been selling consistently in the range of $120 all the way up to $300 per pack. So many people seeing a 6 to 10x on their Uno card investment. And I think context really matters in this. So I'm going to talk about it in one sense for trading cards and what it is, and the other sense of what Uno means to the wider culture. So in the context of trading cards, this is the first ever VFriends trading card. We knew that cards were going to come eventually, and now here they are. So it stands to reason that these cards will matter in the same way that the Empathy Elephant wine was the first of its kind. For collectors, first of its kind always has a sort of a halo, a blush that makes it all the more alluring. And so I know that there are many people who bought more than one pack to put away in the closet and store away for 15 years and just hold their breath hoping for value to accrue. And we may see that happen. In the context of the culture, like, I don't know about you, I actually really love the game of Uno. I played it as a kid, and I know people who were excited to buy this simply for the game, not really caring about VFriends. This was also an opportunity for me to share the project with people who are not into NFTs. And it's a great example of how IP matters and how integration matters. You know, this is just my personal opinion, but I think that in order for hundreds of millions and billions of people to care about these characters in the way that Gary presents the narrative of VFriends as the development of a new suite of IP in the league of Disney and Harry Potter and Pokemon, it requires experiences. And now people will be able to play with their kids, with their families, with their friends, a game that is familiar to them with characters that are new. And I think that is going to be a winner. Time will tell, but it's pretty exciting from my view. I want to quickly call up the blog post. Here it is. So there are 17 characters as part of this collaboration with Mattel that are featured on the Uno cards. And I'm pretty sure that these 17 characters with their spectacular finish are the same. So bear with me as I read through them. I'm going to give you the spectacular and the character, because I believe this is the entirety of the 17 character set, because VFriends confirmed that it's not regarding the collectible inserts. It's not 17 characters and each of their 5 spectacular variants. Each one, it's just 17 total completes the set. So not knowing where they fall in the tier of rarity, these are the characters for the spectacular collection. It's the gold Sweet Swan, gold Charming Cheetah, hollow Positive Porcupine, bubblegum Modest Moose, diamond Faithful Pheasant, hollow Gary B, the most rare, hollow Practical Peacock, lava Productive Puffin, diamond Prudent Polar Bear, bubblegum YOLO Yak, gold Turnt Tick, bubblegum Sharing Squirrel, diamond Enamored Emu, hollow Wild Wallaby, Lava Dynamic Dinosaur, Lava Resourceful Robin, and the Gold Genuine Giraffe. Take that with a grain of salt. I took it from a snapshot on the promo video, but I have reason to believe that those characters with those spectacular backgrounds, with the hollow finish we've been seeing, makes up a full suite if you were to collect them all. And there's some fun things that they did regarding just playing on the Uno concept with some of these characters. So 0 to 9 is simple cards, but the draw 2 card is the Enamored Emu, namely because of the it's actually not alliteration, it's consonants or something. I forgot the word, but the same vowel sound. So draw 2 emu. We also have the draw 4 dinosaur, the reverse robin, the skip tick, the wild wallaby, which is your wild card, and the draw 5 giraffe. As you know, Gary had to squeeze in the number 5 into the collection. And probably the most unique addition to the traditional game of Uno is the sharing squirrel, which actually prompts the player to, whoever plays it, the next person has to take a selfie of themselves displaying the hand that they currently hold and post it on Twitter with the hashtag VFriendsUno. Really silly in my opinion, but it's consistent to say the least. Gary is going to be building this value through IP, and you build value through content. And now he's allowing the fans and the players to help in providing that content. I think it's really wise. That's the scoop on Uno. That's the scoop. Sold out in an hour, limited supply. We may never know how much. And Gary will be watching the secondary market. So if you're selling, be aware. Maybe that was a little more info than people needed, but details. You gotta love the details. Are we liking the details, people? Give me some response. I need the oxygen. Did we learn something? Did we care? It's so funny. I have so much after doing this podcast for a while, and I always record it live. Like very rarely do I record the podcast on my own. I have a whole new degree of respect for the people who create in solitude, that only have their own intuition and eyes on the creative phase. I'm lucky to have the immediate feedback. Anyway, just saying, I'm glad y'all are here. Let me label my thing so I don't forget. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Jumping into the next release, we had a surprise announcement today, a VFriends collaboration with Anwar Carrots. Now, I will say right off the bat, I have to empathize with a lot of people who completely missed this when let me start this segment again. Hold on. My energy is a little low. What am I really going to say? Catching up to today, VFriends surprised us with a brand collaboration with Anwar Carrots, a merch release of a t-shirt and a sweatshirt. And I wasn't familiar with Anwar Carrots, but I did find a blog post that he did after a collaboration with the vodka brand Grey Goose at the end of last year. And it seems to be a really interesting creator, currently out of Los Angeles, but originally from New Jersey. So I imagine he and Gary had some things in common to discuss there. But I really like in this article, and I'll add it to the show notes, how he talks about the process of creating a collection that he ties together things that were created in January to December so that they can match, especially for people who can't buy every season. Seems to have a really artful perspective of streetwear and a lot of respect in the space. I can imagine that's not really my area of expertise, but I saw a lot of people in the Discord saying that they'd been wearing Carrots for a long time and they were excited to see this collab. I thought this was also revealing for people who are building their own thing. He says, he's asked in the interview, is it crazy thinking back to a time when blogging and street style wasn't mainstream? And he says, you know what's funny? I've been doing it since 2006. And my blog is still up there. That he was on Tumblr in 2009 and won Best Tumblr in 2012. So some stupid shit that I was a part of the viral world before viral was viral. You can see pictures of him on the VeeFriends Instagram, or Gary is sharing the stories as well. The merch itself released on the website and through Nordstrom.com and in person. So this is pretty amazing. I mean, this morning there were actual VeeFriends products on the shelves in Nordstrom's nationwide. So going back to IP, Uno mattering in culture, like seeing these things on shelves, the bridge from the digital to physical is very much already in motion, and it was pretty exciting. On the flip side, the nature of the drop was not very successful, to be completely honest. I actually went in person to Nordstrom and I assumed it was like a timed release because they said it would be at noon. I showed up right at noon and all of the supply was already gone except for a single extra large t-shirt. All of the supply online at Nordstroms.com was sold out before the 12 p.m. announcement. And we heard stories of people going into Nordstrom stores and buying the entire stock. Like, you know, people spending $600 to $1,000 and just buying out the store. Which, you know, pros and cons, it is what it is. But I think that Nordstrom didn't really know what they were dealing with. Online, you could buy up to 99 of an item. So I know people who were looking to buy the product just to enjoy it sort of got the short end of the stick with flippers who hustled and bought ahead of time. Also, the Nordstrom link was available the night before and it quote unquote leaked. Hard to say it really leaked when Gary was sharing it and shared it in the Discord and VeeFriends shared it on Instagram, but all you had to do was search VeeFriends on Nordstroms.com and there it was. So it was pretty disappointing for a lot of people when the online sales were sold out before the announcement. And then at 12, they went live on Anwar Carrot's website and were sold out in a matter of minutes. As well, those pieces selling on the secondary market for 2 and 3 times what they were purchased for at retail. But there is good news among the bad news. And that is, if you are a self-aware hair holder, you have 2 exciting things to look forward to. So when I first read this blog post, it says, if you own a self-aware hair token, you're eligible to receive a unique promo code to redeem a free capsule on the Anwar Carrots website. Not sure what that capsule includes, but I imagine it is the 2 pieces from the collection, maybe another gimme from Carrots. Here's something important. You only have until this Monday at midnight Eastern time to update your My Profile through the VeeFriends.com. Make sure your email address is there. Otherwise, you will miss out on this free claim. But this is even more interesting. They say, by the way, we also just snapshotted your wallet address and be on the lookout for that in late January. So anybody's guess what that might be. It could be a VeeFriends Anwar collaboration NFT. Could be maybe a bonus book games related NFT. But if they're snapshotting wallet addresses, it must be an NFT related gift that they are giving. And it seems like it's going specifically to self-aware hair holders. So just sort of zooming out what this might mean for the future, it means on top of gift goats getting airdrops and Halloween having an opportunity to claim airdrops, now we're seeing character specific airdrops. So it's only a matter of time before this rolls out for all 268 characters. Now, when I say a matter of time, I mean 45 years, but it's nice to see that things are in motion. Side note, back to the Uno stuff. There were some questions of like, how were these characters chosen? And Gary said in a Twitter space that it was mostly random, that he wanted to show love to characters that weren't getting as much hype, that weren't getting talked about as much or seeing as much attention in the secondary market. And then there were some things that just made sense, like the draw to emu, for example, or the skip tick. Speaking of the Twitter space Gary did for Uno, I want to just shift into some alpha and hints that he dropped. So one thing he confirmed in that Twitter space that VFriends 2 will see 7 new characters added to the VFriends suite. So he didn't say anything else, although he's been very consistent that there are not going to be a lot of characters added to the collection. They've decided on 7 already, and in the same week, Gary's confirmed that he hasn't started on the artwork for version 2. So interesting to see what the play is there, while at the same time saying that book games will see a few new characters. So I'm really curious if the new characters coming to book games are going to have like sort of their rookie card in book games or in version 2, if there will be overlap there, or if there will be new characters revealed in both of those sets. Speaking of book games, 2 very interesting things. One, very obvious, Gary has put a hard deadline that book game tokens will be available no later than January 10th. So January 10th is the latest that we can expect book games to start. But something a little more subtle, folks might remember that a few months ago, Gary said that Just Art will have a moment in December. And he's been saying a lot, like this Just Art is going to have their moment soon. And a lot of people asking about Just Art. Well, in a Twitter comment, when asked about Just Art in December, he said it will be January. Do I have it here? I have it right here. He said it will be first week of January now. So something he had planned for December is now first week of January. And what do we know that falls under those criteria? Book games. Now, to add to the mystery, Gary actually left a comment in the VFriends Discord and promptly deleted it. If you're watching along on the Twitch, you'll see it in just a second right here. Gary left this comment, book games is based on Just Art, and then promptly deleted it. So it's anybody's guess what that means for the actual games, for the actual collection. But I think that's a really fun hint as to where this is going and the beginning of what the IP build out for Just Art may look like, considering it's tied to a game that is going to be played forever. In other news, there's a lot more collabs coming. Not sure how many, but we know that Gary has at least 3 more corporate brand deals signed. He said that the next 30 days are going to be packed with collaborations and opportunities. And specifically this Monday, he said we'll get the first batch of VCon speakers and tons of info on the book games NFT. I don't expect that there's going to be anything urgent to do or claim for that announcement on Monday. We don't have a time for it yet. But whatever the claiming process will be for the tokens, we'll probably get more information. Maybe we'll get more information about the games themselves. That's all TBA. But Monday's going to be a fun day. Some people I'm hoping are confirmed at VCon include Russ, Tom Bilyeu, Beeple, I imagine Jimmy.eth, and probably a lot of surprises. I think Matthew McConaughey is high up on the list. Time will tell, but it's going to be exciting to get that first list of confirmed speakers. And there's still more to come, and I imagine more that have yet to be asked or confirmed. So with that, we have our show. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Daily Download at the Jeremy Knows podcast. Hope I was able to get you up to speed and otherwise relieve you of any FOMO in the VFriends sphere. If you want to get more of the breaking news updates, I'd suggest following me on Twitter at Jeremy Knows VF or joining the VDAO Discord, where I'm sharing a lot of my alpha, as it were, and just sort of keeping the conversation going. 25 days of POAP is almost over. If you're into the POAP game, there's still 6 or 7 days left of that endeavor, and more soon to come. If you want to support what I'm doing, making content about VeeFriends, there's a tip jar in the bio link. I will put links to these blog posts, the VeeFriends Roundup, and that interview with Anwar in the show notes. Last but not least, we did make a POAP for hitting 5,555 followers on Twitter, and that is available now. If you didn't pre-authorize your wallet to get the POAP, I'll put a link in the show notes. If you didn't pre-authorize, send me a DM. I'm requesting more codes, and I will pass that on as soon as those arrive. Otherwise, my name is Jeremy. I'm the Heart Trooper number 7. Thank you so much for your time, your attention, and your support. And this has been Jeremy Knows. I'll see you tomorrow. A little low energy, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Nearly confirmed Keanu Reeves will not be a guest speaker. Oh, is that because of him laughing at NFTs? Yeah, I saw that moment where I just saw the clip where he was in an interview and the interviewer asked him about NFTs, and he was like asked about the scarcity of it. And then, the interviewer said something like, it's something that's unique and scarce. And then Keanu said, and easily reproduced, and then laughed, like giggled to himself. That was pretty funny. How we doing, Twitch? Alchemy, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. If anybody wants to jump up on stage, I've got a few more minutes. We've got like I can go to like the half hour. If anybody has questions related to what's going on or VDAO or otherwise, happy to chat. Otherwise I'll bounce and I'll post the podcast. I'm getting some DMs asking how can I authorize my wallet. You can't authorize your wallet anymore, but you can send me your wallet address so that I remember to follow up with you with a code. Kaser says, can you just give me a breakdown of what VDAO is about? I joined because I thought it's related to the book NFT token drop. Also, what is it that's being minted currently? So Kaser, I'm going to assume you're in the voice chat. Like, can I talk to you directly? Yeah. Hey, man. So VDAO is about a community of art collectors who are passionate about the long-term future of VeeFriends and other blue chip NFT projects. So what we have launched and what is currently minting is a governance NFT. It's an art piece and an NFT, access to this community, and gives you a single vote in deciding how our vault is mutually spent. So that also brings up a lot of new questions for people who are not familiar with DAOs or how they can work. This is not a passive income token. The projects that are paying dividends to holders are largely playing in illegal or gray area legally. And so we would love to create an opportunity like that for our holders, but because it's not legally advisable, all profits that come from buying and selling NFTs with our mutual vault that the DAO governs will go back to the vault. And the DAO has control over how those profits are spent. You know, if we wanted to, for example, use it to buy merch to reward holders or hire artists or reinvest in other tokens or do any number of things, we can do that. But where admin maintains veto power is if something is proposed that breaks the law or is not legally advisable. So as a holder, you get access to token gated channels that we have. We have our own lounge. We discuss purchases. We have an alpha channel, which is awesome. Like, actually, I'm surprised with how much value we've been able to provide through the alpha channel, in the way of, like, people were able to get the Uno, be ready for the Uno cards, like get the Anwar merch before it sold out last night, and on and on and on. As a holder, you also get access to the utility of the tokens that we own. So most utility is not going to be able to be distributed between all of the holders. For example, every VFriend token that we buy, and our primary objective is to, through minting, acquire over 100 ETH that we can use to deploy and sweep the VFriends floor. Each of those VFriends tokens confer an access to vConference. We're still working out the best way to distribute that to holders, but all of the admin already have VFriends, so there's no ploy in trying to get ourselves there. It really is meant for the holders to determine who is interested, able, willing. I don't know if we want to add deserving to that list. I think it's up to us as a group to determine if that should be randomized or application based or something else. But, for example, we bought the Fly Fish Club tokens, which is a project that you're probably not familiar with. It just released, but it is access to a restaurant in New York City. And we're able to lease that token once the restaurant is open for a cost. So that will generate some revenue for the DAO, but also as a holder, you can lease it from us. And I imagine we'll do it for free. That may be a great utility that you're interested if you're either in New York City or able to come. And more things will develop. I think because when people hear governance over Evolve, they want to see flipping and trading and profits returning to holders, and we empathize with that, although we don't have a legal pathway to do it. I and the founders are really focused on driving value through networking here within the server, barking dogs, access to resources and information. I myself spend a lot of time answering questions and educating people on security and safety in the space, projects that are promising, certainly VFriends, but I'm also very responsive to things that people need. So I tend to make content based on request. And then, of course, the alpha channel, I think, has already paid out for some people. But beyond that, we're also working on airdrops, like high quality art airdrops. So the first 555 holders, which we're almost there, actually. I'm not sure exactly what the count is right now. Sorry, that wasn't the most eloquent I've explained the project, but I hope that sort of answered your basic questions. Right now, we have 554 owners. So everybody who owns a token right now will receive our first airdrop. CF08A7 is still picking up tokens. They just picked up 2 specs for 0.25. And somebody, Firebird, is also picking up. Firebird is picking up specs too. Interesting. I love that people are seeing the value of the rarity. So the project is still minting. You can buy at the floor for 0.04, which the min price is 0.05. But I would check the website for gas costs, because, like, if I try to buy on OpenSea, I'll probably end up paying more with OpenSea's gas rates than I would minting from the contract, and then you have no chance of getting the rare tokens. Whereas these white backgrounds are the most common. And for everybody in the room who wouldn't know this yet because it's not public, there's a new channel that's coming that more clearly breaks down the rarity of the collection. And thanks to the help of Cooper and some others, I'm working on a blog post that sort of like says what I just said, but in a more eloquent way, as we're doing like a big push to see the project minted out in the coming weeks. So I hope that answered your question. I don't see any more DMs from you, so I'm going to assume it was relatively answering your question. Let's go to voice channels text. We know VCon access rentals will be a thing. Has there been any news on how that will be facilitated? Will there be a marketplace created on the VeeFriends website? Also, sorry I missed the first part of the show if this was already covered. No, it's all good. It hasn't been covered. We don't know for sure. The last thing we heard from Gary is that it's in development. It should be done soon, and it will probably be now announced. It will probably be announced in Q1. But with the new Fly Fish Club NFT, the developer Zetterston, who was actually in the room earlier, looks like they left. But Zetterston explained to us that they've developed in-house a leasing smart contract. So basically the way that it would work is you as the seller determine the price, the duration of the lease, and the wallet address of the person who can interact with the smart contract that's holding your token. You send your token to the contract, and then the buyer who is leasing your token fills the contract with whatever payment you required. And then the smart contract allows them to claim temporary ownership until the end of that lease term when it is sent back to the original buyer's wallet. So that's the mechanism for Fly Fish Club in order to lease access to their restaurant. And I can only imagine that it will be the exact same smart contract that is used for VeeCon, because it just makes sense. The teams are the same. So if they were able to do that with a smart contract, I think that would be much safer for those who are trading their VeeCon access, and would just make sense. You're welcome, Keezer. We got another POAP request. Let me get back to the chat. Sorry, that was probably loud. Yeah, I'm interested in the application process as well. Trantastic. The only drawback for the application process, from my point of view, or at least the first one that comes to mind, is objectivity. Who is going to review the applications? Is that like a DAO wide thing? Then we have to be like judging people on some kind of merits and metrics. And if it's like, say, the community leaders or the mod or the admins, like maybe the DAO can give more trust to that group to try to be objective in that process. But you know, it's inevitable that there will be that subjective element. Like, we see people in the chat, we have relationships with each other, and I can imagine that being much easier said than done. But if there was a good idea on how to be objective about it, I mean, I would be super happy to hear. You're welcome, Mike. Thanks for saying thank you. Coming back. Can you give a short new breakdown of book games, access and participation? Also, VeeFriends 2 and how to get access to be ready for it. Price from the perspective of someone who doesn't hold a VeeFriend currently. Yeah. Let me copy you this article. So this article needs an update now, but it still has a lot of good information about book games as of November 29th. It's also pinned in the book games channels, so you can check that out. Where to begin? So a short new breakdown of book games. Back in August, Gary announced the pre-order window for his new book, 12 and a half. If you bought 12 books during that 24-hour promotional period, you secured one gift NFT. This NFT series we now know as book games. Many people, either after missing VeeFriends 1 or seeing its success and not going hard enough, went hard on book games. I, for one, got 96 books, which is absurd. I'm not a rich man. Gary was in that live stream being like, buy 12 more than you think you want. And I went from buying 24 books to buying 36 books to buying 64 books to buying 96 books. And whether it was FOMO or good intuition, we'll never know. or we won't yet know, but these tokens are coming. And the immediate concern was, how does a collection of 100,000 tokens actually sustain value? Well, Gary's answer to that question is through demand. And we've yet to see exactly how he's going to sustain and build demand for these tokens, but there's a few things we know. We know for certain that Gary has done the art and the tokens are VeeFriends branded. So that alone probably will sustain the $360 per token entry price. Furthermore, games are meant to be played forever. So when these tokens drop at the end of January, they will be on a layer 2 called Immutable X. This is not 100% confirmed, but it is 99.99999% to be confirmed based if you're following what Gary's saying. And he has confirmed that the marketplace will be tokentrove.com, which is on Immutable X. So for all intents and purposes, it's confirmed. That's good for a couple of reasons. Number one, no gas in buying, selling, or trading. That's going to save people on margin when they're trying to make a profit on a $360 investment. But we don't know what the game is yet. We don't know if it's Risk, Bingo, Monopoly, or something entirely different. For a while, the question was, okay, obviously there's going to be like a burned stake, right? That's the only way, reduce supply, drive demand. And he denied it for a while until it was later confirmed. So assuming, because some of this, even though Gary is a man of his word, he also sometimes contradicts himself and sometimes, and rather often, changes his mind. But to be more brief, Book Games is a collection of 100,000 tokens with artwork related to 12.5, which we have yet to see any sneak peeks of or really know what it is. And through stacking the tokens, through a collection game, you will be able to unlock various high value things. And we don't know what those are yet, but I anticipate some of them will be access to Gary Vee. Some of them will be free mint passes for version 2. Some of them may even be a VeeFriend 1. I can't imagine that it's like 5 tokens to get a VeeFriend 1, but maybe like 50 or 100 tokens will get you a VeeFriends 1. And we think that because Gary said, if you play the game right, you can turn back time. And he said, if you can stack the tokens to create what you want. So in the same way that his book 12.5 is about emotional ingredients that you blend to get the most out of an interaction and navigate the business world, I think we're going to see something similar, that there's a series of tokens, probably relative to those 13 attributes, and then whatever these new characters are, and then whatever else, and a series of rarity, probably similarly core rare, very rare, etc. And by collecting all of a certain rarity, or all like either horizontal or vertically, you can burn those to receive a version 2 or a version 1 or something unheard of that is like a trophy, that is the equivalent of a trophy in winning the game. The reason I talk about book games are meant to be played forever is whatever it is that this game is going to be like a carrot on the stick for everybody. And everyone will be, oohing and awing at the fact that they can get a version 1 or whatever the case may be, when all of Gary's NFTs are long-term opportunities. And he has said things like paper hands will be destroyed, and book game tokens, book game holders that hold till 2026 will be marveled at, and that there's 10 to 15 good years ahead for these tokens. So we will see where it goes. But in its simplest sense, it is a layer 2 collection of 100,000 or more tokens, VeeFriends branded, with opportunities to get version 2, version 1, and more. I think that was a relatively, not so brief, but relatively good explanation. As for version 2, how to get access to be ready for it, price, and etc. So I think with version 2, it's important to understand the context that it was never intended to be released this soon. Gary confirmed this. So like what happened was VeeFriends 1 released, and it didn't go parabolic, but the price went up very quickly. Within a matter of 6 weeks, the core floor moved from 0.5 to like 4 ETH. And for people who are new to NFTs and have been following Gary for a long time, that was a big hurdle to go over. And people who were chasing the floor trying to get in after the auction and who missed the tokens sitting on the floor for weeks, they just couldn't keep up. And so even before that 6-week mark, Gary said that he would release a high supply, low value, or I shouldn't say value, low cost, high supply, low cost series in version 2. And it was originally going to be 0.1 ETH with like a massive supply, no utility, no access to VCon, but something for people who missed out that they could have exposure to the brand. It seems that original idea evolved quite a bit. And in recent weeks, he's been saying that it will be $1,000 USD. So it's dropping in Q1 of 2022. So that could be anywhere between January and March. I think with Book Games dropping January 10th, it's safe to say we'll have a couple weeks. And we could be looking at like a mid-February to late March drop. And it'll be relative to the price of ETH at that time. So he's committed to a US dollar value, which is very helpful for people who are new to the space. So if ETH is $10,000, then it will be 0.1 ETH. But if ETH is where it is at now, it'll be 0.25 ETH or whatever it might be. So it'll be purchased in ETH, but the value, the cost will be $950. There will be no access to VCon. There will be no utility, or at least it's very unlikely. And it will be an expansion of the characters we already know, plus 7 new characters that he just teased as of yesterday. It's going to be hard to get. And Gary has said the same thing. So with the success of VeeFriends and the growth of the community, with VeeFriends now, I think decidedly over 200,000 members, you can imagine that there's going to be a lot of people looking to grab these tokens. It will be hard. VeeFriends 1 holders will have a significant advantage, but we don't know how. There's no allow list. There's no pre-authorization mint list for VeeFriends 2 right now. And he wasn't willing to confirm that it would be airdrop to VeeFriend 1 holders. But he has talked about Book Games being a key to version 2. So either through holding the right tokens or burning the right tokens, you may be able to secure a free mint of version 2. But the access to version 2, I think, is going to be tiered in this way, with version 1 at the ground floor, then Book Games holders, but not just any number of tokens. It's going to be a specific number of tokens. Then active Discord members. I can't confirm this, but it would make sense to me that those who are active in the Discord and who are paying attention there will have some sort of advanced opportunity before like the all-out public sale. And he has also been unwilling to share what the supply of version 2 is. And I'm not sure if it hasn't been decided yet, or if he just doesn't want to share it and keep focused on Book Games. But I will anticipate right now like 25 to 55,000 version 2 VeeFriends. It's going to be a very meaningful supply. Nice. You asked me the supply as I was answering it. Love that. So that's the breakdown. You are welcome. You are welcome. Cool. Well, I'm going to run in just a sec. Oh, I see a hand. I'm bringing you up, Mick. I invited you to speak, but or maybe that time has passed and you can't come up anymore, which is also fine. Are you coming up? I don't hear you if you're up. Nope. Okay, no problem. All right, friends. Let me just check Twitch. No comments on Twitch. All right. peace out to Twitch and YouTube.